Hello, I'm Scott Catamas, and I want to respond very spontaneously to this article that's making the rounds about the TwinRay. I chose this background because I want for the foundation of what I have to say to be about care. And I want to thank my friends who've reached out to me sending the article because they care. And I want to address and acknowledge anyone that has, because obviously we all know that there have been terrible cults, dangerous, horrible things that have happened by people that got pulled into a religious cult or any kind of unhealthy community where disastrous things happened. We know the stories, it's happened, um, and I acknowledge that. And so I'm imagining that most people that see the article, especially the headline, um, it brings out their care, their concern for people that might be involved in any kind of a community that has dangerous outcomes, dangerous consequences. A little bit about myself briefly for anyone who doesn't know. I've made my living primarily as a coach, but I've also been very involved as a writer and a producer of educational television. And I've had the good fortune to get to know and to do television segments with about 100 different authors, leaders, teachers. I can say with pride that I've gotten to know really closely a lot of wonderful spiritual teachers, from Ram Dass to Michael Beckwith. Marianne Williamson is going to be on my show next week. I've been around the block. I've never been someone attracted to gurus. And quite the contrary, I've actually always had a real concern about people that made false spiritual proclamations. And it's kind of interesting as part of this story that 4 years ago, the way I met the TwinRay was I was doing an online show, which many of you probably remember, called Saturday Night Alive for the Global Peace Tribe. So I'm really proud of. And my co-producer, co-host, Deborah Juicy said, hey, there's this great couple. They call themselves the TwinRay. Let's have them on the show. I had never seen them, heard about them. Deborah suggested them. And at that time, I was kind of in charge of doing the agenda. And honestly, when I first saw them, I immediately had a prejudice. I immediately had a bias, so much so that I put them on at the very end of the show that we had them booked on. I gave them like 10 minutes at the end of a 3.5 hour show. But as they were talking, I went, wow, okay. And first had my prejudice about, wow, dressed for white. Come on, is this trying to look like Jesus? And, that went through my brain. Um, but then I listened and it's like, wow, I really liked what they were saying. And I really I felt a good vibe. So at the time I was doing another show called the Sacred Sunday Show. So I invited them to come back and be on that show where I could really spend time with them. And so a friendship began. And I have worked with them now for almost 4 years. I've had the good fortune to spend months at a time when I've gone up to Ashland to work, to stay with them in their home, in their sanctuary. I've seen them morning, noon, and night. I've been in many situations with them. And I want to say that they are the kindest, most loving, most high vibe human beings I've ever gotten to know well. And mind you, I hung out with Ram Dass. I hung out with some pretty cool people. Um, they're always friendly. They're always loving. They're very generous. And they are absolutely dedicated to raising consciousness and supporting us. Now, this article, uh, there's a lot of things in there that are just flat out lies. There's a lot of things in there that are exaggerations. And there's some things that take a truth and then expand it. I want to say that they never have claimed to be anything other than our guides, our friends. But sometimes there are over enthusiastic members of our community who project onto them that they were Jesus or that they were Mary or that they had God knows how many past lives with them. So I actually directly asked the TwinRay, Sunanda Ji, Shakinama, come on, a lot of people have a lot of ideas about who you are. Who are you? And they looked and they smiled. And this was just a private conversation, the three of us, when I was staying with them. And I said, Scott, we're whoever you want us to be. We can be your teachers, we can be your friends, we can be your family. You get to choose. And that's exactly it. Yes, they were white. Yes, they're vegetarian. Yes, they're celibate. Guess what? I'm not wearing white. I'm still not a vegetarian. And I'm still not celibate. And they love me. They brought me up to teach compassionate communication to the entire community, which they declared as like the language of the community. And I help them out with human resources and other projects. We do events together, wonderful events, most of which are free. Do they have some high-priced items? Yes. Yes. And if you go to the website, they have all these courses that they provide for free. And they have a lot of wisdom that they provide for free. And they've actually structured it so anybody can come in and gain value. And for people who can afford more or want to go deeper, nobody is ever forced to do anything. That's one of the first things you look for in a cult. Are people being forced or coerced to do things that are outside of their integrity? In my 4 years of being around, been to retreats, spent a lot of time with them, I've never, ever seen them come close to coercing anyone to do anything. That's just not who they are. So if you are concerned, thank you. Thank you for your care. And I invite you to go to the website, listen to what they have to say. Go to Global Peace Tribe YouTube and look at some of the videos of some of the shows they've done with me. See what you think. Listen to your own heart. But please don't base your opinion on an article that was written with absolutely no commitment to truth and no objectivity. It's written in a very sensational way to build on people's fear. And that's heartbreaking. And it especially hurts my heart because I really love these two people. And they're good people and they're doing good things. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your care. And if you have any questions, you can send me a message and I'll do my best to respond.